welcome to another Coffee with Kilroy. Today, I'm going back. I'm going back in time. Well, with history games, aren't we always going back in time? Well, today on Coffee with Kilroy, I have my coffee. I'm going back to Barring the Gate. Now, this was the first postcard game that I covered, so this might feel like a little bit of deja vu. Don't adjust your sets. The reason I wanted to revisit this postcard was really for three reasons. Number one, I'm in the middle of or doing a Napoleonic week, and so this fits into that. This is part of the Battle of Waterloo, a little inset piece of the Battle of Waterloo, but a very important and famous part of it. Number two, as I said, I covered this before when I started off my postcard journey into postcard games, but I didn't cover the counters when I covered that. I had them, but I had not located them, so I wanted to show off the counters that you can get with these. These are the die-cut counters that you can ask for from Against the Odds magazine, who I think published this. But they're decent counters. Looks like they're gray core, good thickness. The only issue that these counters tend to have is they have nibs, and so you're probably going to want to clip if you can't live with the nibs. And so, but generally, very nice counters there. The third reason was when I covered this, I don't think I really went over the gameplay as much as I could have. So that's one thing I wanted to revisit this today, talk a little bit about how these postcards work. These are postcard games by Paul Rohrbaugh. As I said, they're generally distributed by Against the Odds magazine. They're published by LPS, which owns which is, I think, the overall publishing arm for Against the Odds magazine and Turning Point Simulations. And either one of those entities give out postcards with their games. Against the Odds magazine is just that. It's a war game magazine. You get a magazine with articles, and you get a war game, and then you also usually get a postcard as a bonus game. And if you pick your postcard, you can there's a place where you can select which postcard you want, and when you do that, they usually send you the die-cut counters along with it. But the way postcard games work, and as I said, I kind of did a brief overview of this earlier. You've got the game on the front, you have your counters on the side if you don't get the die-cut ones, but you can cut these out and then play them on the front of the board. On the back of the board, or the postcard, and this is actually a postcard because you can put a stamp there, put an address, you can mail this to a friend. Give a game to a friend. I like the sound of that. But the rules are right here on the back. So if you look at the back here, you've got all the different rules. And way these work, or the way a lot of Paul's games work, are that in this case, you need a die and you need a deck of playing cards, standard playing cards. And you're going to use the cards for activations. And the activation is going to say which side goes, but you'll also end up using the cards in the combat as well. Here is the terrain effects for the front of the road, so you see the different terrain. And here is a description of the counters themselves. You have the attack, you have the defense. Notice you don't have movement because you're just going to be on an activation. You're just going to be moving it one hex, and there you have it. So you're also going to include a joker in there, and as it says right here, it shows you what you do on the different turns here. You draw a card with an even black card up to 2 French units can activate. If it's a red card, then you're going to be activating the British, and that's how you do activations. In combat, all units can fire up to 2 hexes. Infantry have a -2 card draw modifier if firing a CD modifier. I need to see what that is. If firing at non-adjacent targets. So, and there's also zones of control in here. and then you're going to draw a card, and then add that to the attacking values, attacking units attack factor, and you're going to do the same thing for the defense. And so the cards come into play not only to do activations but to modify the combat. But there you have it. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a reminiscing and walking down my coverage of postcard games. And since I didn't go into this as much as before, I kind of just talked around the topic a lot more. I wanted to show off the counters, talk a little bit more about these games, and talk about Napoleonic Week. And I'll also put this also gives me a chance to put a list to the list of my complete coverage of all the different postcard games in one spot. So it'll be in the description down below. So if you want to look at any of the postcard games that I have, I don't have all of them. I got a lot of them, most of them, but I don't have all of them. But if you want to see that list, you can look down below. In closing, these are nice little small footprint games. I mean, they're very small. They're about as small of a game that you can generally find that uses hexes and counters. And not all these are hex and counter games. Some are point to point, some do grids, but for the most part, they're hex and counter. They're relatively self-contained. I mean, you have to cut out the counters or get the die cut counters. But once you do that, I mean, you can put this in a little bag and to hold your counters in there as well. And again, a lot of people tend to blow these up. If you just have a little bit bigger playing space, it kind of defeats the purpose of having it being a little pocket game. But each to their own. If you want to have a little bit more room to maneuver your counters, then you might blow this up. Plus, it allows you to have some place to read the rules. Because, if you're playing on the front, how are you going to read these rules on the back? Now, the rules aren't complex. This whole activation and using the cards for activation, using the cards for modifying your combat, that's not in every single one of these postcard games, but is in many of them, especially the ones that Paul Rohrbaugh designed. And it's not that complicated of a system. And again, this is going to give you a feel for the battle or the portion of the battle that it's covering. It's not going to give you, you're not going to walk away with, wow, I really feel like I understand everything about that battle. No, this is a very high level, very inset, but very kind of high level view of it. It's a little bit abstract in regards to that. But, the Barring the Gates, this is the Battle of Chateau Hougoumont, which was, part of the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon's last major engagement, and where the British really held out and kind of put a wrench into Napoleon's plans in the center or towards the left of his battlefield there. So anyway, there you have it. That's what I have for you today on Coffee with Kilroy. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you've enjoyed any of these postcard games, or if you've picked up any of them, or you played any of them, those all can be different things. Let me know. Let others know. Drop a comment down below and let people know what you're thinking. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day. I'm back. Here's a little bit of bonus features. So the Barring the Gates was part of a series of postcard games on the Battle of Waterloo, and I think 3 of them came from Against the Odds, and 1 of them came from Turning Point Simulations, and they did not link them until now. So if you go on the Against the Odds, this is Facebook, but if you go on Against the Odds website, you can get, there is a way to buy these. This might be part of their Black Swans, which is kind of standalone games for Against the Odds. But you can get a way to link all 4 of these postcard games, of which Barring the Gates is one of them. And then you have, there's a little advertisement for it, but they have rules in there to link these. And, they did this for D-Day. I did a lot of coverage on D-Day, especially with their postcard games. They've done it with Leipzig and now Waterloo. So if you're interested in this postcard game and don't have it and want to get it, but want to get all 4 of the ones that they have available for it, which I have not done, and maybe I think I need to take a look at that. Anyway, you can do that here at Against the Odds website. Thanks for watching.